I've been married to my wife for 11 years. We met in high school, started dating, and decided to stay together even though I was leaving to serve in the Marines. I was 18 at the time, and to be honest, I was pretty naive, as many are at that age. Back then, I was sure she was the one, the person I wanted to spend my life with. We had shared dreams and plans which seemed so real and attainable. However, what I didn't know at the time was that while I was away, she was living a completely different life. It turns out that while I was gone, she started hooking up with college guys she met through friends or at parties. Of course, I didn't know about this then, and when I returned from boot camp, everything seemed completely normal. We got back together, and I was confident that everything was going well. But fate had other plans when I left again for more training. We stayed in touch for a while, and I made a huge mistake by proposing to her. Now looking back, I realize how foolish that was. I was only 18 and didn't fully grasp the complexities of married life. She said no, and 2 days later, she broke up with me. That was one of the most painful moments of my life. It felt like my heart was shattered into pieces. I was devastated, lost, and had no idea how to move forward. However, I managed to pull myself together, focus on my service, and prepare for my first deployment. For 2 years, we didn't talk or see each other. During that time, I grew stronger, both emotionally and physically. Once during leave, I unknowingly hooked up with her again, not realizing that she was already dating another guy at the time. When I later found out, guilt overwhelmed me. I felt terrible about being part of her infidelity, even though it wasn't intentional. Despite all this, after some time, we started dating again. We stayed together for the rest of my military career. Another 5 long years filled with challenges, including long separations and difficult phone conversations. Eventually, we got married, and it seemed like everything was finally falling into place. Life started to stabilize. We were building a home, making future plans, and even discussing expanding our family. But a few weeks ago, something happened that changed the way I saw everything. I accidentally found out that while we were together again, she had spent the night with another guy. This happened when her friend hooked up with one of his friends, and my wife joined them. This news hit me like a ton of bricks. It was a painful blow because, until that moment, I had never doubted her faithfulness. To me, she had always been honest, and I never once suspected that she could cheat on me. This incident made me question everything and dig deeper into her past. I started thinking about what could have been happening while I was away serving. The more I thought about it, the more facts started to come to light. As I pieced things together, I realized that she had cheated on me more than once, and at different points in our relationship before we got married. This information completely turned my world upside down. What I thought was a solid, trustworthy relationship was actually built on lies and deceit. Even after these revelations, I began to think about what might have happened during our marriage. One incident that particularly bothered me was when she came home around 2 a.m., very drunk. She mentioned seeing a guy from our school district. He was involved in local politics, and his reputation was far from clean. There were rumors about his infidelity in his own marriage. At the time, I dismissed it as just a casual encounter, but now, after learning about her past affairs, I started to wonder if there was more to that night than I initially thought. Now I find myself at a crossroads. On one hand, I have all this information about her past, which has completely shattered my trust in her. On the other hand, I don't know how to process it or where to go from here. We've spent so many years together, and our lives seem so intertwined. We built a home that was filled with love and care. My family adores her, and they have no idea what's really going on. All our mutual friends also believe we have the perfect marriage. I feel lost. On one hand, I'm not sure if I should fight for our marriage. On the other hand, I can't imagine my life without her. And the hardest part is that I have no one to talk to about this. I feel completely alone in this situation and don't know how to cope with the emotions tearing me apart. I would greatly appreciate any advice or support, especially from those who have gone through similar experiences.